Hey everybody, Melinda Pollen, Brown County 4-H. Excited that you're here to learn a little bit about another project with me. This series is about counted cross stitch. And counted cross stitch is something that you can get at many craft stores. They come in kits and they come in individual pieces. And they're really fun, easy things to do fairly inexpensively that don't require a lot of supplies. All you need for counted cross stitch is some Aida cloth. Aida cloth is, if you look really closely there, you'll see it has a bunch of holes in it. It comes in a couple of different sizes, 11 count Aida cloth, 14, 28. The way that you measure Aida cloth is by how many of these little squares are in 1 inch. So the largest Aida cloth is an 11, where you can get 11 of those squares in a 1 inch ruler. So let me put that up to the camera so you can see that. This, what I have in front of me, is a 14 count Aida cloth. And there are 14 of those little squares in a 1 inch part of a ruler. So you'll see that the larger number of your Aida cloth, the smaller number of squares you have. So you can get really, really intricate and do really fine needlepoint. I typically look at the 11 or the 14 count just because it's a little easier for me to negotiate through. Aida cloth comes in a big roll or it comes in squares. And so all you need for cross stitch is this kind of cloth, a needle, and floss. And so what we're using is the green 4-H floss today. And so for the project that I'm going to show you how to make, we're going to make a bookmark with 4-H colored hearts on them. Really simple. It's 12 across and about 12 down a couple of times on a piece of Aida cloth. What I've done is I have cut my Aida cloth about 3 inches by 6 inches. So I just measured it out. You can actually see my pen mark right there. I measured it out off of this bigger piece and I measured 3 by 6 and then I cut right on those lines. Now the beauty of this project is when we finish it, we're going to fold it together so your lines don't have to be perfect at all. We'll glue that at the back and we'll put a piece of ribbon on the back. We're going to make a little bookmark. So what I want you to do is to find your Aida cloth. Make sure you have a tapestry needle and some DMC floss. And I want you to cut your Aida cloth to 3 inches by 6 inches. And then what I did is I just kind of had the pieces meet in the middle back here. See how they just kind of come right back together in the middle there? So just do a quick fold there. You can press it with an iron if you'd like. I didn't. I will also tell you that if your fingers are dirty, your Aida cloth gets dirty. So be sure you wash your hands before you touch your cloth, or you're going to leave your little, like if you had dinner or a snack, Cheetos, then you get those marks right on your cloth there. I also want to show you a little bit about a DMC floss. DMC floss comes like this. It's about 50 cents for a color. And the way that I take Aida, the floss out is I find my end and I hold on tightly back here and pull. And it just comes right out the middle there. I like to work with a couple of maybe 2 rulers length of thread at a time. Otherwise I get mine knotted. So then what I'm going to do is just cut it right up here. And you'll see that this string has a bunch of little threads there. I cross stitch with just one of them. So what I'll do is I'll kind of spread them apart there until I can get my fingers just on one, right there. I just have one strand and the rest are there. You see that? And what I'm going to do is really gently put my fingers right here, holding all of the other strings and pull up with that one strand. And it makes kind of a knot down here. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to keep pulling until I get to the very end. Don't worry about that knot. Pull up, and once you get your single piece out, you can kind of see I have a single piece here. Then I'll just pull this back down straight. I only cross stitch with one piece. The hardest part for me is getting that on the needle. Thread your eye of the needle here with that one piece right through, and then I make it nice and even at the bottom. So that is part 1, everybody. Find your Aida cloth. Getting it cut to the size, again, 3 by 6, and then folding it together so they meet in the middle. You have about, let's see, about 1.5 inches is what that ends up being at the end then, 1.5 inches in the middle there. And then get your floss, whatever color you want to use. I'm going to use 4H green, and thread your needle. Don't tie a knot at the end. We'll deal with that, the open end when we come back for our second video.